Hey guys, okay, I'm on my phone right now, but typically I like to use TradingView on my computer because the screen is wider and so therefore you can see more of the screen, which is ideal when we are marking up our charts and finding, key points of interest and potential trade setups and whatnot. But really quick on my phone, I do want to just take a video and show you some of the tools that you might want to use on TradingView. So I've pulled up just a random chart. We have GBP USD on this one. Does not matter what chart you practice on, marking it up and using the tools is going to be the same regardless. So down here you can scroll through whatever charts you want to use. And then right here, you'll switch your time frame of the chart. So you want to do a top-down analysis, meaning you're going to start with the higher time frames. So we have minutes, hours, days. I typically like to start with the 4-hour chart. And so now each one of these candles represents 4 hours of price movement throughout the market, okay? So from here, because I'm on my phone, you can just take 2 fingers, put them on the screen, and spread your candles closer together or further apart. And so and then same thing, you can drag your finger on these numbers here up and down to make your candles taller and shorter. So figure out how you like to view it. Because you're on the phone, you're gonna wanna zoom kind of out or squeeze your candles closer together so that you can see a little bit more of the chart, right? But just looking at right here, you can see key areas like the high and the low, for example. So then from there, you're going to want to grab your pencil here and you can grab, a trend line I like to use, or an arrow or a ray. I like the trend line. And then you're just going to tap where you see. On your phone, you have to draw the line first and then move it to where you want it. On the computer, you can click exactly where you want to start your line, drag it out, and click where you want it to end. So now that I've got my line, I'm just going to grab my line and move it to where I want. So if I can see there's a high here, right? I want to mark that out. I also want to grab another line again and mark a low. So I'm going to make a line on my chart, and then I can go ahead and grab that line and move it. And I'm going to put it where the lowest point is that I see. And if I drag that out, you can see price has touched it here and again here. So this is a clear, key level, point of interest. You can also go left, and you can do this for really, as many as you want. Just practice identifying highs and lows, okay? You'll start to notice that an area that was a high at one point typically becomes a low. So if I drag this line out further, if my screen will cooperate, my phone is glitching, super sorry. Anyway, maybe one of these days it will work. Okay, close enough. You can see that over here, an area that was the top of a candle, right, became an area that was the bottom of point of price action right here. And so that is really one of the most basic things you're going to start doing as you're learning how to mark up your chart. Happened the same thing over here. This previous high, if my phone will cooperate, okay, it will not let me draw it straight, but you can still see the point still stands. That this previous high right here eventually became a low over here. Okay. This would look a lot prettier. Here we go. Okay. And so that is going to help you find key areas or key levels, areas of interest, right? That shows you a point in the market where price reacts from. It either bounces off of it or it breaks through it and then bounces off of it. And that is actually called a break and retest, where we broke the high here and then we came back down to retest the high, which created, a floor, and then we kept on going higher. And so these are different ways that you can start to mark up your chart and identify key points, okay? Then also you can identify trend lines, meaning is price moving in an upward trend or a downward trend? So the further you zoom out, the more you can see when we look at this, price is generally moving up here, right? And so then you can also grab a line, and again, you can do a ray or an arrow or a line. I personally just like to use lines, and you can mark that out also. So I can actually drag this out and put it at my low point here. This would be prettier if my phone was cooperating, but you get the idea. And then you can drag it up, and you can see that price comes and respects this trend line, right? So now I can't zoom out more than that on my phone. This is why I like my computer, but you can draw a trend line. You can change the color of that. You can just click on it and change the color of it if you want, so it's easier to notice. So now we have a trend line. We can see that price is in an upward trend right now. Look at that. Even today it respected it. It came down, it touched the trend line, and it kept going. So we have a clear trend, and we have some key areas of interest where price is bouncing off of this low here, and it has created a new high. So if she continues her upward movement, we would expect for her to come and retest this high again, as she continues her upward trend, right? Or she could break through and create a new high. So play around with it. Go on TradingView, either on your phone or on your computer, and grab your line and start marking up a chart. Find your trend, figure out if you're in a high, an uptrend or a downtrend, and then go and find some highs and some lows, some key areas where you see that price has touched it and come back to that same area a few times, and that will help you begin marking up your chart.